Hi YouTube, and welcome to video number 2 in the Vizwik app creation series that I'm creating here. In video number 1 I talked about visually appealing apps, how to get them visually appealing, how to keep them visually appealing, and now I'm going to talk more about the function of creating an app, how to set up your slides, how to make some animations happen, and just a few things like that. If you watch video 1, you'll notice that I had some trouble with the horseshoe image, but I have gone back and found one with a transparent background, and I've positioned it right here. I've also finished my text label from the last video and put in an introductory guide to owning a horse. Again, I know nothing about horses, but this is just an example. It could be on dirt bikes, it could be on curling, it could be on basically any passion you have, and that's the whole reason you build an app. You build it either to make money, or on something you're very knowledgeable about, or on your passions. And if you're starting out, I really do suggest working with your passions. Okay, so now that we have the horseshoe in place and the introductory guide, I think it's almost clean enough that we just don't even label this. Like, I think someone coming to our site might actually try to press on that, not our site, our app, might try to press on that horseshoe, and that's what I'm expecting. It's just cleaner if I don't write enter or enter here or anything like that. So let's just leave that there like that. I will do one more thing. I'll come back down here to labels, bring a new label out, and very quickly change it to white. And the whole reason I'm doing this, and I highly suggest you do it as well, is you should always try to include an about page. An about page is nothing more than a page about you, the author. If you have a company name, if you had a code name that you use when you make apps, this is always a good thing to have. And we'll link that to a page that describes about who you are. So you could have your company name there, you could have your app builder name, your code name, whatever you want right there. But it's always good to actually have just an about that people can tap on and visit a page if they want to. They may never go down to this part right here. Okay, so let's talk about how to make a second page and how to start linking some things. So I'm going to close my monkey wrench, and I'm going to go back over here to your views tiles, I guess. And there's one thing under your buttons that's really cool. It's called a touchable area. And what you can do is you can drag a touchable area up and put it over the top of anything on your app. And it basically says if a finger touches that area of the screen, it will trigger a reaction. And you can tell it what reaction to trigger. Now, of course, I'll do that down here for the About page. I don't think we'll build that today, but you get the point. I could build a page that talks all about me, all about my interests, my company, whatever I want. Okay, there we go. So when a thumb or a finger taps that area right there of the screen, it will trigger something that's going to happen. Now, what's going to trigger? Let's talk about building a new page. You want to build a new page, you come down to the View tile at the bottom, open it up. Let's call this the menu, because that's the page that I'm going to build. Move it up into place, and there's page 2. The star indicates the first page that loads, and this does not have a star, so therefore it's the second page. First thing you do is you pick a background. I have a animation of a horse running. That looks cooler than I thought it would. I'll keep it like that. Another thing you might want to do for a menu page is go down to the bottom here to Views and choose a title and drag it up. There you go. Title bar is pretty cool because it allows you to add back arrows and forward arrows. And without a back arrow, your users are going to get stuck in the app. So it's a nice thing to add up top. If you don't like the fact that it's a black bar on a white page, you can simply go to this and change it to a white bar. If you don't like the fact you can't see the words now, you can simply change the words to black, and we can make them whatever size we want, larger, smaller, and we can also make them say whatever we want. So we can say menu. There you go. Okay, now the one last thing I should show you about the menu bar up here is you can actually go to left icon and right icon, which will put icons here, and you can tell them what to do. So let's go left icon, let's go to view, and let's take them back to the welcome page. So there you go, there's a little arrow up there. Again, these features will become a little more better looking as Vizwik evolves, but there's your back arrow, and that'll take you back to when a user hits that arrow, it will take them back to the title page. Okay, so on a menu, you need buttons. You need buttons that take people to other parts of, I guess, your app. The one thing you want to realize, though, is we got to get to the menu, and the only way to get to the menu is to make a script that tells when this area is touched to go to your menu. Let me show you how to do that very quickly. I'll go down and I'll open a new script, and I'll call it Annie to menu. The reason I called it Annie to menu is I'm going to show you how to do an animated script, animated move, an animated transition to the new page. So you need three elements. What you do is you either double click, or you can go down here, of course, to scripts, but I find it easier to double click. You're going to go to your library and you're going to type on your keyboard go to. You can see it automatically sorts and you're looking for the one animation. There's also go to website, but we'll go to animation, go to view with animation. The next thing you're going to do is double tap and go value, because you get to choose whether you type in grow, fade, or slide. And whichever one you choose is the actual animation that will happen. I'm going to choose grow because I find it looks the best. Position that over there. The last thing you need is the page you're going to. So the page you're moving to, you need to grab its block next to it. See the menu page that we made here? We need to grab that block, drag it, and drop it into the script, into the code. You're going to connect the menu page, or the page that you want, to this side. You're going to connect the animation to this side. Now that you have a fully working script right here, by the way, there was no text typing in much there, it was just drag and drop. You're going to take this script and you're going to grab its block and drop it onto the touchable area that we set up over here. What you have just done is said that when this is touched, this script will run, leading us to this page. Let's check it out. When a thumb or your mouse taps this horseshoe, it should animate, grow into the next slide. Let's see. There you go. When we tap that, it should go back. There we go. Now, if you find going back is rather lame, if you like the grow animation and you want to see it all the time, you can actually go back into, I'll hide this over here. Congratulations, you just saw your first script. You can actually go back over here and you can go to view, but you can actually run, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's usually a menu right here that allows you to run run a script. You can actually run a script, and then you can just use the animate back to the welcome page. Okay, let's look at what we've done so far. We have added touchable areas to parts of your screen. We've written a script that allows you to put in the page you want to go to, the effect you want, and the command, I guess, go to view with animation. It animates to the new page. If you wanted to make buttons or use Vizwik's buttons, I'll show you how easy that is. You simply grab a button, drag it out, position it with the crosshairs. You can grab another one if you want. And this is how I would do my menu app. I'm not sure if I'd do them over the horse's face. I'm always really concerned with how the app looks. So I might have to actually in this case. But eventually I would sort these out and make them in a way that would show some of the horse running here. You can just double click on a button and rename it. So this would be saddles, food. Again, I know very little about horses, but I'm assuming they eat. And the last one would be shoes. Shoes. And a few other things. You could add a few more things. These things would be as simple as creating a new script. You could literally just duplicate. You can go right-click, duplicate, call this Annie to saddles. And then all you do is once you have your saddle page, which I can just make here over here quickly, once you have your saddle page, you can actually delete the menu page, add the saddle page to the same exact script that you already made, and then drag this code and drop it on the saddles button. No touchable area needed, it's a button. So it knows, the monkey wrench says, yep, I recognize the fact that there's a script attached to this button. So now, we actually have a script ready to go that when I hit the saddles button, let's reload this, so you go into your app. When I hit the saddles button, it should load this blank screen as a grow effect. There you go. I'll reload. You can always do a touchable area to an about page, and you can see how this app keeps growing and growing. So in this video, we learned about touchable areas. We learned how to write simple scripts just for an animated transition to a new slide. And we added even more motion to our slides. It brings your app to life, the motion. Don't overdo it, and try not to make it cheap animation or cheap quality graphics in behind. The next video will go a little more in depth into, I guess, finishing off the app, maybe publishing it, what an app should look like when it's all said and done, how not to trap your users. But other than that, this is the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed, and I hope it helped.